China's exports, the country, is collapsing, and they fell in November as shipments to the US has slowed sharply, adding to concerns about the effects of the two nations' trade war. It's nothing to do with two nations' trade war at all, and everything to do with dragon groups harvesting the trade. And the November exports from the world's second largest economy fell 1.1% from a year earlier, and it's the fourth straight fall. Now, exports to the US were down 23%, the worst such results since February, and the 12th monthly decline in a row. Now, the US is issuing more tariffs on Chinese goods, which is due next Sunday, as part of the ongoing trade dispute. And on Friday, the White House economics advisor, Larry Kudlow, said the 15th December deadline to impose a new round of tariffs on some $156 billion of Chinese exports remained in place. California we're going to next. The DMV has been selling the personal information of registered drivers to the tune of $50 million per year. Why are we paying for these licenses and all the bloody fees if they're making that much off us anyway? And in a previous investigation, Motherboard found that DMVs in other states have been selling non-optional information drivers must provide in order to obtain a license, such as names, physical addresses, and car registration information. Now, whilst California didn't disclose exactly who they're selling to, no surprise there, other states are making a handy profit from customers, which include data broker, LexisNexis, Experian, private investigators, and others. And in a Public Record Act's request, Motherboard asked the California DMV for the total dollar amounts paid by commercial requesters of data for the past 6 years. And the documents showed that the total revenue in each year was $41 million in 2013-14, before steadily climbing to $52 million in 2017-18. We've covered many things in From Russia with Love. In fact, our shows are littered with confirmations of From Russia with Love, or for it anyway. And we've also covered the fact that there's a coup going on in this country, another coup. And yet people are focusing on wrong things when the obvious is right in front of them. So this story came out this week, and if you ever needed confirmation, here it is. Billionaire Ron Lauder is pledging $25 million to take down what he describes as anti-Semitic candidates of both parties. He said, "Although I'm a lifelong Republican, anti-Semitism knows no political party. I'm going after the right as well as the left," said Lauder, who is the son of the late cosmetic moguls Estee and Joseph Lauder. Mr. Lauder, born in New York, born to Jewish parents, and he's also the president of the World Jewish Congress. Oops. Make no mistake, this is another coup attempt in this country on behalf of the Zionists. And essentially, they only want candidates that are loyal to Israel. Mr. Lauder needs to understand this is America, not some fake created country in the Middle East at the behest of psychopathic families with their fake books, fake religion, and fake history. America, Mr. Lauder, not Israel. And in my opinion, Mr. Lauder needs to be dealt with under the National Security Act for an act of treason and subversion of American politics and elections on behalf of a foreign state. Mr. Lauder needs to learn history as well, as the Jews were not Semites. Oops. Now, some may think this is not a widespread issue, but let's look at some of these names, shall we? The US Senate. There's just a portion. Richard Blumenthal, Barbara Boxer, Benjamin Cardin, Dianne Feinstein, Al Franken, Herb Kohl, Frank Lautenberg, Joseph Lieberman, Carl Levine, Bernie Sanders, Charles Schumer, Ron Wyden, Michael Bennet. The House of Representatives, Gary Ackerman, Shelley Barkley, Howard Berman, Eric Cantor, David Sisselin, Stephen Cohen, the priest class, Susan Davis, Ted Deutsch, Elliot Engel, Bob Filner, Barney Frank, Gabrielle Giffords, Jane Harmon, Steve Israel, Sander Levine, Nita Lowey, Gerald Nadler, yes you, TikTok, Jared Polis, Steve Rothman, Jan Schakowsky, Alison Schwartz, Adam Schiff for brains, Brad Sherman, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, Henry Waxman, Anthony Weiner, John Yarmouth. All those named and a lot more hidden all have dual passports. Again, I have to ask, where is the implementation of the National Security Act? Oh, the media will complain about Russian collusion and Russian this and Russian that. And then we have tens of people who have not only defined themselves as American, but actually operating for another country's benefits and policies. How did they even get into those seats to begin with dual passports? Now, some people don't like me repeatedly saying born in and born to. Well, those people need to start listening properly to the depth of the problem, or nothing will ever change. It'll just be new boss, same as the old boss in terms of policy, but in terms of intensity, it will be 10 times worse than it is now. You have to remember, these people want Armageddon and think only they will be saved. Remember, these people regard you as non-human and animals, that they are told they can kill, rob, rape and use pedestry against any non-Jew, and it's not a crime. These are the same people who are charging a 3-year-old Palestinian child for throwing a stone at a tank. He wouldn't have to or be able to throw a stone if they were not on their historical land. You know, there's zero evidence of the country of Israel ever existing in history other than a fake book. Don't believe me? Fine, but go and research it yourself. What you'll find out is, like the American pastor 3 to 5 years ago, who went to the Middle East to prove the Bible was correct. He found out to the contrary, much to his disappointment, no doubt. And it was all largely a lie, and he subsequently came back to America and quit as a pastor. With an open mind, you will all find the same conclusion. Israel is a falsely created militaristic base in the Middle East for collecting resources and a death and destruction program, all created by the psychopathic Rothschild family and their demonic cohorts.